The Stormforce Games merch store is now open. Come browse the latest and greatest merchandise that Streamlabs has to offer, from t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, hats, and more, all with your favorite Stormforce Games logos and branding. All Stormforce Games merch is priced to sell, with most items priced so low, you can't beat it. Come check out the Stormforce Games merch store on Streamlabs. You're watching Stormforce Games, streaming 5 days a week, exclusively on Twitch. Next on Stormforce Games, it's American Truck Simulator. Stormforce Games starts right now.
Good evening, everybody. It's 8:09 p.m. on the 22nd of September, 2022. I didn't realize I had my microphone on this whole time, so hopefully I didn't say anything bad. But we are back streaming tonight. And we'll let you know what we're playing here in just a little while. But of course, you probably could tell by the stream title. So welcome to the show, everyone. I'm TV Guy Jay. This is Stormforce Games, and we are playing American Truck Simulator tonight. The only reason for this is because I actually got a notification. I got an email from Viva Trucking saying that, oh, I haven't been active in a while, and they're going to release me if I don't do a trip soon. So we're going to run a Viva trip tonight just for giggles and to keep ourselves current. Maybe we'll run a couple of trips and see what kind of trouble we can get into. But before we do that, I want to talk about something first, and you know, this has been something that's been bothering me for a while, and you know, honestly, it's something that needs to be talked about, and I think it's something that hasn't had enough attention lately in the streaming world, and that's the current state of Twitch. You know, I just, what is going on with Twitch right now? This is these are the questions that need to be asked, and they need to be answered as well. You know what I'm saying? We are all trying to accomplish one thing here, and that thing is what are we trying to? What is our goal? My goal as a streamer is to have fun. You know, I don't do this to get rich, and I certainly don't do it to get rich, because if I did, I'd massive failure at it. but as far as I'm concerned, this is something that what's been going on lately with Twitch is something that needs to be addressed. And it's something that was addressed last night during a kind of like a webcast on Twitter. I just happened across this by accident. I don't even know really why I happened to have this thing show up in my timeline, but it was a webcast that was hosted by several former Twitch employees, and these employees shined a very important light on a lot of important topics, and a lot of which revolving around how badly the company treated its employees, and how badly the company is treating its content creators, smaller content creators like myself, and larger content creators, because of the recent change in payouts in the revenue split. So certain lucky content creators were offered contracts with a 70-30 split, meaning that the content creator would take 70% of revenue and the platform, Twitch, would take 30%. But now, and that was a special case situation. Most content creators who are monetized, like myself, are a 50-50 split. So right now, I make 50% of all revenue in my channel. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. I wouldn't want it to be any worse than that. But there are some content creators out there that have earned the right to make 70%. And now that apparently is being taken away from them. And everybody is going to a 50-50 split platform-wide. And I feel like that's a little bit unfair, considering, they offered these people that payout rate initially. And now they're kind of walking it back. But more importantly, the issue I think that needs to be addressed is the equity amongst streamers, the equity amongst content creators on the platform. Because as we all have heard recently, there was some scandal involving a particular streamer who, and I won't say the name because, one, I don't need to draw attention to them specifically, and two, I can't remember their name. This streamer was broadcast basically having sex on stream. And apparently, from what I read, they received a 7-day ban. And I got thinking to myself, because I don't know too much about this particular streamer, but I figured that they must be a big name streamer if they only got a 7-day ban. Because for someone like me, if I were to do that on my channel, I would be banned permanently from the platform with no chance for appeal, no recourse, nothing. I would be kicked from the platform and they would lock the door behind me. But I have found in this situation and in several other situations with other streamers, with other content creators in the past, that certain streamers have been allowed to kind of bend the rules or ignore the rules. And I think that's a little unfair, considering, we're all supposed to be following the same terms of service, the same TOS. And I don't understand why certain streamers are allowed to kind of circumvent those rules, get around those rules and ignore those rules, or break the rules and not be punished for it. The punishments that are handed out by Twitch seem very arbitrary, and this is solely from an outsider's viewpoint, but this is not just my viewpoint. This is a viewpoint that's shared by many hundreds of thousands of other people. All you have to do is pull up Twitter or Facebook and read about it. Particularly on Twitter, whenever Twitch posts something about something going on the platform, there are several dozens or hundreds of other people who tweet back kind of in a sarcastic way. I lost the phrase I was going to use, but kind of in a sarcastic way, and they respond back with things like, "Oh, so having sex on stream is still okay?" Asking for a friend. There was a long time ago, there were a couple of streamers that come to mind, one of which was recorded or streamed throwing her cat on stream. And I don't believe that person was ever disciplined for that. I don't believe that person received a ban or anything. And matter of fact, that same streamer actually revealed one of her breasts on stream and claimed it was an accident. And she, I think, only received like a 3-day ban or even a 1-day ban or something like that, 24 hours. So I don't know. There was another streamer that was caught breaking TOS in several different manners and in several different occasions, and only received, I think, a 24-hour ban or maybe a 3-day ban because she was, at the time, one of the biggest names on the platform. And I think that's something important that needs to be addressed in and of itself, is that it seems like the more money that you bring in for Twitch, the less likely they are to take any action against you. And it's certainly a situation of the money talks, the money is doing the talking, and you're allowed to break rules for a price. As long as you continue to pay the platform for that privilege, then they will kind of ignore any particular violation of the TOS, which I think is a little unfair, considering someone like me, if I were to do any of that stuff or even come close to any of that stuff, I would receive a permanent ban. As I said before, it's guaranteed I would receive a permanent ban from the platform, because I bring in absolutely $0 to Twitch every month. I mean, I bring in a little bit, but to the tune of dollars, not tens of dollars, not hundreds of dollars, not even thousands of dollars, nothing. I'm lucky to have one subscription per month, and Twitch takes half of that. Any bits donations that I receive, Twitch takes half of that. The only thing that Twitch can't touch for my revenue is donations that go directly through Streamlabs. And that is the only thing that Twitch can't touch. But unfortunately, I don't see donations because we don't have much of a viewership here. But in the event that I ever did, that's a situation where, one, the revenue split comes into play, and two, the equity of rules, especially in the application of those rules, really is important for someone like me, a small streamer like me, who, we have to be super careful, because if we break a rule, even if it's unintentional, even if it's accidental, even if we didn't know we broke a rule, that could be our streaming career right there on Twitch. Could be thrown out the window, thrown in the trash. It could vaporize. It could go up in smoke immediately. And we don't have anyone to reach out to. We don't have a representative. We don't have a partner representative, or whoever, whatever the title is for the person, like a partner agent or something. Somebody at Twitch that we have a direct line of contact with that we can reach out to and say, hey, can you explain to me what happened? Everything I've read about people who have been issued bans from the platform for various reasons, they receive very generic emails, if at all, which don't list a specific issue or reason for the ban, other than you violated a part of our TOS or something like that. And when pushed for more information, usually they either don't get a reply at all, or they get, again, the same generic "you violated part of our TOS." I know of one streamer in particular who I talk to occasionally, who was banned from the platform for an inappropriate username. They deemed it as an inappropriate username. And reading his username, it wasn't inappropriate at all. It wasn't offensive. It wasn't, I don't feel like it was a violation of anything in any way. But Twitch deemed unilaterally that was a violation of their TOS and banned his account. And I think that that's kind of crap, because, I feel like if a company is going to take away somebody's source of income, potentially their source of income, potentially their career. We're talking about real dollars and cents here. They should at least be responsible enough, be held responsible and accountable enough to specifically outline what rules were broken and offer the ability for them to remedy that. In this case, I believe they did offer the ability for him to remedy the situation by changing his username, but it was a situation in which he should never have been banned in the first place, because it wasn't an inappropriate username. So I feel like the transparency, Twitch is always claiming like, oh, well, we want to be transparent, we want to be more transparent with you, but they only do it in certain situations. They don't. It's kind of a veiled promise. They're kind of like, yes, we definitely want to be transparent, but this is us being transparent. You know what I mean? Fingers crossed behind the back sort of thing. They don't give any information. There's really no appeal process. Unless you're a partner, you don't have recourse for anything. And even if you are a partner, sometimes you don't have recourse, as shown by the whole Dr. Disrespect scenario. That was a major newsworthy event that happened there, and still to this day nobody really knows what happened. I think only those two people will know what happened. I suspect that it was a contract dispute that went bad, but ultimately the level of transparency that Twitch has right now is next to nothing. And I think that eventually we're going to see scenarios in which a lot of streamers are going to start going to other platforms. And by other platforms, I mean YouTube, because really there is no other platform that is at the same level as Twitch right now. Twitch is by far the leader in live streaming, particularly when it comes to gaming and esports. But the problem is that YouTube has so much in the way of resources that they can easily handle it. And the thing about YouTube is that YouTube not only has the live streaming ability, but they also have the VOD capability, where Twitch kind of falters at that a little bit. They're not as great with VODs. They're not as great with recorded content. They're much more a live platform. YouTube has both. YouTube can be live platform or pre-recorded VOD, and YouTube is very intuitive and very easy to use. I used to stream on YouTube. Unfortunately, their platform policies are a little strict for me. At least they were back then, where, particularly their copyright system was a little bit faulty. It was a little bit weird, where I would get false copyright claims on my videos all the time. And it just made it to the point where it wasn't worth it for me to stream there. I think Twitch has a lot more integration with a lot more other platforms, but I think YouTube is growing in that regard. I would like to stay on the Twitch platform because I've invested so much into it. But the problem is, simply put, I'm not going to stay on a platform that doesn't care about its creators. And Twitch is showing time after time that they don't care about their creators. And this was something that was said. This was I'm paraphrasing, but paraphrasing a direct quote from one of the sorry, I have an itchy nose. From one of the former Twitch staffers last night during that webcast, that the staffer said something to the effect of, Twitch does not care about its creators. And this is somebody with intimate inside knowledge of the company back when they worked for the company. And that sentiment was echoed by so many of the other speakers that night, that, you know, when you have a group of people that large and that diverse, it's kind of hard not to believe it a little bit. There's got to be some shred of credibility there. You know, it's not like a bunch of just a whole bunch of disgruntled workers all came together and said, well, let's try to take down the platform. And the thing is none of these people that spoke last night wanted that. None of these, that's not their goal, to tear down the platform. Their goal is to get the platform to change for the better. And that's, I think, the most important thing. They're not just out bad-mouthing Twitch for the sake of trying to get them to go out of business because they have like a competing product or something. They're doing this because they had a hand in building Twitch, and they want to see Twitch succeed, and they want Twitch to be a safe, successful place for everybody, not just the top 1% creators, for everybody. And I think that's part of the problem with the top 1% streamers on the platform, basically the partners, the Twitch partners, is that in order for any meaningful change to happen on the platform, we have to have big name streamers stand up and say, now's the time for change. This is what we need to do to change. But the problem is, it's not self-serving for them. And this is where this whole process kind of fails, is that if I were a top 1% streamer, why would I stand up against the platform and risk my income, my livelihood, my full-time job, everything? Why would I risk all of that for potential retaliation? Because Twitch could easily come back and say, well, we're going to cancel your contract, or we're going to not renew your contract, or we're going to just ban you from the platform. Now, that would not be a very good business decision, because obviously if I'm a top 1% Twitch streamer, I'm bringing in lots of money for Twitch, and Twitch would be throwing that money away. So it's kind of like a catch-22 in the sense that it would not be beneficial for either party at that point. And this is why I don't think we've seen any big-name streamers stand up to the platform and demand change, because they are the top-tier streamers, and they got there by whatever reason they got there. And I'm not going to speculate. Everyone has a different story. But there are some streamers that earned it. There are some 1% streamers that definitely, we'll just say, got lucky. Or were very savvy in what people wanted to see on stream. If you read between the lines there and kind of catch what I'm throwing out there. I don't think we're ever going to see a big name streamer stand up against the platform, because they don't want to rock the boat. And on top of that, they don't want to, if they're sitting up high on this pedestal, they don't want other people to get closer to them, because once that stream of income starts to be diffused, starts to be diluted a little bit and spread out amongst more streamers that are up and coming, because they are now, because now things are more equitable, then it reduces their income, right? So it's a self-serving system. They made it to the top, and they're going to stay on the top, and they're going to protect their position. And to be fair, I would do the same thing, more than likely. If I were up there, I probably wouldn't want to rock the boat either, because again, that's my income. That's my full-time job. Many of these, all of these YouTube, not YouTube, all of these Twitch streamers, these 1% partners, that's their full-time job. They're contracted to stream X number of hours a week. And the thing is sometimes, from what I heard in the webcast last night, sometimes that's 80 hours a week. Partner contracts, I haven't read a lot about partner contracts. I suspect that there's an NDA you have to sign, because I've never heard of any contract information other than what I heard last night during the webcast. I heard numbers of hours ranging from 40 to 80, and I can't remember if that was per week or per month. I suspect it was per week, because 80 hours a month, that doesn't seem like a lot. But again, this is the situation that we're in. As small streamers, we have to compete, and we have absolutely no discoverability on the site. I really wish my nose weren't just like completely itching right now. One of the biggest issues that was brought up last night was the lack of discoverability on the site, the lack of a spotlight. For small streamers like me, there's no chance of my stream ever getting found by random. I have to market myself, and I have to go out of my way to market myself in different ways, and that's something that I've failed at as a streamer, because I'm not a marketing person. I tell people that I stream all the time, but I go through a stream with maybe 1 or 2 people in chat if I'm lucky. 9 times out of 10 when I stream, I have 0 viewers, or at least 0 viewers that are in the chat. I can see plenty of names in my viewer list, but if nobody chats, I don't know that they're real people. And probably about 35 to 50% of the people on the platform are fake bots anyway. So it's tough to figure out who's real and who's not, because the chat is just, it doesn't exist. There's no interaction. And that's one thing that makes this platform so unique, is that we have that real-time chat. And on this particular channel, it seems like it just goes to waste a lot of the time. Diabolical Diabetic says Tungsten Mouse because she's amazing, referring to people that would stand up to the platform. And she's referring to Iron Mouse, of course. She says, I feel like Mousy would if it got bad enough. And it's interesting that you say that, because I was listening to Iron Mouse this afternoon when I was out, and she didn't tackle this subject head on, but it's a big thing on the platform right now that people are talking about, because a few people were brave enough last night to have this webcast. And she kind of addressed it, but didn't address it. She didn't address it directly, but there was a rumor that somebody started that Iron Mouse was going to leave Twitch and go to YouTube. And I guess this rumor must have gotten a little bit of traction, because she actually addressed that directly during her stream and said she's not leaving Twitch. She's staying on Twitch. She does stream on other platforms occasionally, she says, but she said she's not leaving Twitch. And she also said something I thought was very interesting. She said that she tends to stay quiet about things like this. Although she did have an issue this morning with her stream, in that she was not visible in the search. So if you searched on Twitch for Iron Mouse, her page did not show up. That turned out to be a bug, because she actually tweeted directly to Twitch publicly and called them out on it. And I guess Twitch responded to her privately, because she, as a Twitch partner, has a contact person that she's able to, kind of like an account manager or an account executive, that they're able to have a direct dialogue with. And I suspect they asked her to take down her tweet, because she deleted her original tweet and then posted another tweet that said the problem had been resolved, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, that's the thing. Like, I don't know what are in partner contracts because I'm just an affiliate. I have a very limited contract with Twitch that basically just says I can stream when I want for as much or as little as I want, and I am eligible for monetization. However, I cannot stream simultaneously to other platforms. And I believe that last part had just been rescinded from the contracts. I'd have to double check. But basically that means that before, I was not able to simulcast to both Twitch and YouTube, or Twitch and Facebook, or Twitch and TikTok at the same time as an affiliate. I believe that has been dropped. So now if I wanted to, I could simulcast to YouTube and Twitch. And that's something that I think I may end up doing at some point. I don't know. I may explore that option. I don't think I would ever leave Twitch directly. Or completely rather, because again, I have so much invested in the platform. But that being said, if things get bad enough, I may just stop streaming altogether because I'm not going to support a platform that doesn't care about its creators. Like I said before, I'm not going to support someone who doesn't support me. And I'm not going to support a platform that doesn't help me become more popular, help me to grow my channel. That's what I'm here for. I want to grow my channel. I don't need to become famous, and I certainly don't want to become famous. If I could make a nice bit of money doing this, that would be awesome. But ultimately, I stream because I enjoy streaming, not because it's my job or because of whatever. I do it because I enjoy playing the games that I play. That's part of the reason why my channel isn't as popular as it could be, because I play games that aren't necessarily popular. But I do it because I enjoy it. Really, I'm here for the interaction. I'm here for the social aspect of it. Having people in chat that are having constructive dialogue, that's awesome, because I love interacting with people. But I'm not going to continue to stream on a platform that doesn't give a crap about us and doesn't help us grow. And Twitch will keep saying, well, we have the front page and we have all this other. You look at the front page and tell me how many people you see streaming there that have less than 50 viewers. I'm going to take a look right now and just see what's on the front page, just for giggles. If you have 50 viewers in your stream, you're doing all right. You're doing great. And that's the thing that people don't understand is, like, if you have 50 viewers, you're doing awesome, man. You're doing great. I want to see people on the front page that have like 10 viewers. I'm just looking through. So under live channels we think you'll like, there's Iron Mouse, there's Project Melody, there's Aethel, there's Snuffy, there's Shibuya Kaho. Right away, 1% streamers. Okay, Kaho's only got 520 viewers, but she is incredibly popular, especially in Japan. Obviously, the other four are, we're talking platinum tier here. Scrolling down the page, we have the What's Hot category, which obviously is top streamers. We have recommended smaller communities. Okay, this is what they consider small communities. Okay. We have one person with 21 viewers. Okay, that's okay. I'll give them that. 21 viewers. Then the next one is 82 viewers. Okay, they're doing all right. 46 viewers, we're on the edge there. 77 viewers, they're doing all right. And then 108 viewers, they're fine. Okay. We have a few. Let's see, recommended just chatting channels. 43.4 thousand viewers, 177 viewers, 25 viewers, 892 viewers, 165 viewers. Okay, so all over the place. But the first one, 43,000 viewers. Okay. I find it funny. His stream title is Platform Implosion, and I think that's important to note. I think that that's something that's very likely if stuff doesn't change on the platform. Streamers that are the top 1%. I'm talking Twitch partners, talking people with the purple check mark, people that the moment they click that live button, they have 500 viewers in their channel waiting for them to pop up on camera. Okay. These people do not need exposure on the front page of Twitch. Okay. They already have established communities. And I've said this before in the past. They already have established communities that react to that mobile notification. Hey, I've gone live, blah, 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 whatever. They don't need exposure on the front page, okay? The front page should be reserved for people with less than 25 viewers. And once they hit 25 viewers or more, boom, kick them off the front page, get rid of them. Now they're on their own. If Twitch is serious about helping creators become creators and become successful creators, they need to give us the ability to market our channels on their platform where we're streaming. They need to give us the space to be able to do that. And they also need to apply the rules equally across all users, no matter what their status, because what they're doing is they're creating subclasses of human here. Okay. We already have the basic streamer, we have the affiliate, and we have the partner. Okay. And Twitch has done a lot in the past to bring the affiliate level closer to the feature set that partner has. A lot of partners kind of twist that around and they say that Twitch is bringing partners closer, that bringing partners down to the affiliate level. But really what they're doing is they're empowering affiliates to have access to more of the same features that partners have. Not all of them, but some. And I think that was a step in the right direction. However, certain things that are big helps to people like me, they're taking away. Things like channel hosting. Okay, I love to host other channels, and occasionally I'll get a host from another channel, and they're taking that away. That's one method of exposure that gets deleted when they kill that, I think, in October. They need to reserve the front page for small streamers. And I'm talking genuinely small streamers, people that need to build their communities, because once the community grows, once the community becomes established and there's a seed planted there, that community is going to expand on its own. They don't need help from Twitch at that point. Okay? You look at people like CDogVA, Iron Mouse, Neanners, Lord Athelstan. These people, like I said before, are people that as soon as they hit the go live button, they've got 500 viewers in their channel already chatting, hyping it up, getting things going. And so when they pop up on screen, there's already a mile worth of chat to look through. You know, these are communities that build themselves once they get started. Iron Mouse and Connor should just create their own platform. I mean, I think at this point it would be impossible for anybody to create a platform that could legitimately compete with Twitch and or YouTube. There have been major corporations that have had streaming platforms that have failed. They have tried and failed. Microsoft had Mixer, you know, and Mixer was, I think, on its way to becoming I would say a contender. I don't think they ever truly had, I don't think they ever truly had a chance to become like a number one, but there's definitely room in the marketplace for a third major platform. And for a company like Microsoft to fumble that like they did, I think they got out of the game too early. But at the same time, that, you know, Microsoft has had this kind of history, without going too much into Microsoft has had this history of pulling out of the game when they failed, or pulling out of the game when a little bit too soon. You know, we look back to the iPod versus Zune. That was a massive failure on their part. They did it all wrong, and it's just a mess. Microsoft has not had good luck. The one place they have had decent luck is in gaming, surprisingly enough, with the Xbox. The Xbox was a major contender for years, and still is, I think, to this day. Obviously, I think PlayStation has the upper hand because I think I think Sony is a more powerful company in that they have resources that aren't, I think, controlled by American interests, whereas Microsoft is American-based, Sony is based in Japan. But I getting back to the original point, I think that there is room in the marketplace, in the playing field, for a third major contender. And right now, that third contender is Facebook Live, or Meta Live, whatever they call it now. And realistically, I don't know of anybody who streams on Facebook. I know that it's a thing. I know that they have marketed a streaming platform on Facebook, but I hate Facebook. I would delete my Facebook today if I feel like it would benefit me. Unfortunately, I use it for certain particular things, and I think getting rid of that would be detrimental to me personally. I'm much more of a Twitter user, and that's where I get a lot of my news and information is from Twitter. Facebook, I think, has become very toxic and very convoluted, and there's a lot to it, and there's no space for people there anymore, I don't think. Certainly as a streaming platform, I think the potential is there based on its user base, but it's just not, when you compare it to Twitch or you compare it to YouTube, it's just not the same at all. I think YouTube is the only legitimate contender right now. There were a couple of other smaller platforms out there, smaller streaming platforms out there, but unfortunately, both of those streaming platforms that I can think of off the top of my head were adult-based, and I think that's important. I'm going to touch on that in a second. They were adult-based, and one of them has already basically dissolved or evaporated. They've gone out of business. The other one is going strong, but again, there's a stigma on adult content, and when you're doing things like gaming, which is more suited for younger crowds, even kids in some cases, it's hard to do a site that does that would allow for adult content at the same time as gaming. It was tried, and I think they had potential. I think there was some business problems there that caused them to fold, and then obviously there's another site out there now that is basically, it's not even really a gaming site, it's a cam site, but I think that could potentially bring another contender into it in that separate category of adult gaming. But again, Twitch is a 13 up site anyway, and I believe YouTube is the same. You have to be 13 in most jurisdictions around the world to sign up for an account on a site. There are some rules and laws that go along with that, but obviously there are people on Twitch that are not 13 years old, and when they get caught, their accounts get banned usually, and they just go and create another one. But getting back to the original thing, Twitch has a lot of work to do, and I really hope, not just for my sake, not just for the sake of Stormforce Games, but for the sake of everybody, all the small creators on the platform, that enough change is done soon enough to prevent the platform from basically failing. And a lot of people are going to say, well, Twitch is owned by Amazon. There's no way they're going to fail. And yeah, but at the same time, again, Mixer was owned by Microsoft and they failed. YouTube is owned by Google, and any company has the ability to fail. The bigger the company is, the more spectacular the failure. I think that if Apple were to start a streaming platform, I think it would be wildly successful. I don't know that they would want to get into that business, but considering that their hardware is suited for video work, their hardware is usually higher end, I think it would make sense for Apple to start a streaming platform. I don't know if that'll ever happen. I know that they have a lot of things on their plate and a lot of things that aren't public. But I think that an Apple live streaming platform would be really incredible. Because you look at the other two streaming platforms, you look at Twitch and you look at YouTube, they're owned by tech companies. And some might not consider Amazon to be a tech company, but when you think about AWS, when you think about Amazon Web Services, that's probably the biggest tech company in the world based on server capacity, based on what they do. They provide hosting for websites for nearly every website out there. They're kind of like a clearinghouse for web hosting, server capacity. So I definitely consider Amazon to be a tech company. And obviously Google is one of the largest tech companies in the world. So why wouldn't Apple being, I think, the largest tech company in the world, why wouldn't they throw their hat in the ring? Something to think about, Anyway, we are going to jump into some games tonight. We're going to jump into American Truck Simulator. There it is right there. And we are going to play around and see, if we can get ourselves into trouble or any of that stuff. Who knows, maybe we can, maybe we won't. We'll see. Anyway, let's get going. I've griped enough about Twitch and how bad things are. Everyone already knows. I think we just need to talk about it more. Starting to lose my voice because I've talked so much. We had been doing this kind of exploration of Montana, and I don't even know where I am, honestly. That's an earthquake. We have an earthquake occurring just northeast of Tokyo right now. Possibly an intensity of 2 or 3. An intensity of 3 being reported right now in let's see if we can see in Kanuma. More intensity 3. Tatebayashi. And this one appears to be moderate strength earthquake just northeast of Tokyo. Some other larger areas there being Chiba, Yokohama, Saitama. And it looks like it's actually centered below land. Magnitude 4.5 at a depth of 80 kilometers. It's in the southern part of Ibaraki Prefecture. Again, just northeast of Tokyo. Tochigi and Gunma prefectures measuring a intensity of 3. And we will continue to monitor that as we progress through the stream. It appears that it's not going to get any more severe than that, so we will come back to programming. I was looking for... There was an interesting little icon here, but I can't tell what that is because it's not in the key. I also can't see where my truck is.
An earthquake of maximum measured intensity of 3 occurred.
Sure did. So we're going to continue this. Are we going to? No, we're not going to continue this run. We are going to, let's drive to the next nearest city. I suspect it's going to start me off where I left off, but it may not. It may start me off from somewhere else. Emmy, welcome. Finally done talking about Twitch news. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important. It's something that is important to be talked about. you know, it's I mentioned it before, like nothing's going to change if people ignore it and pretend that everything's okay. People know at this point that things are not okay with the platform and that things need to be addressed. And, you know, I have a dog in this fight. You know, you may not want to hear it, but it's something that it's a tough discussion. It's something that needs to be talked about. Yeah, I did go on about it. I'm sorry that you have a problem with it, Emmy, but unfortunately, this is something that needs to be discussed because it's the same with the whole Me Too clan, you know? Like, if we don't talk about it, if we don't make it public, then it's not going to get changed. And this is important. You know, you may not stream on the platform, but I do. I have a dog in this fight. And I think that if Twitch wants to treat its creators like crap, then we should call them out on it, and it should be public. And I'm sorry that you don't agree with that. I'm sorry that you don't want to hear it. But it is important to people. And I don't think that you should come in here and make me feel bad about talking about it, because I think that's bullshit. You know? I think that's disrespectful to come in here and tell me that I'm talking too much about it. That's bullshit. Why would you do that? You know? If you have a problem with something that I'm saying, it's fine that you say something about it. Okay? But don't sit here and make me feel like shit because I'm talking about something that's important, not just for me, but for everybody. Okay? Like, what the fuck? I don't get it. You know, you come in here, you're not even a regular viewer. You just happen to drop in tonight on a whim? Come on. Don't come into my stream and tell me what not to talk about. You know, if you were here every time I streamed, that's different. But, you know, you come in here once every couple months? Give me a break. That's bullshit. You absolutely were being disrespectful to me. You're sitting in here telling me, boy, did you go on about it. You know? Wow. You're finally done talking about Twitch? Don't bullshit me like that. You're lucky I didn't ban your ass. You know? I don't sit here and stream for people to be disrespected. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to create a cohesive community here. People get along, treat each other with respect. Don't come into my stream and shit on me for talking about important information. Where do you get off, man? Give me a break. Unbelievable. Some people are just unbelievable, man. You know, I am all for people voicing their opinion, because I think that's important. You know, I voice my opinion, and I think that's important. I think everybody should have a voice. But there's definitely a way to do it. And there's definitely a way not to do it. And I'm sorry, but the way you addressed that in my stream tonight was definitely not the way to do it. Okay? And I believe in second chances. I believe in the ultimate respect. And that's the reason you're still here. That's the reason I haven't banned you from chat. Because I believe that a healthy discussion should take place instead of just having a knee-jerk reaction. But I will not apologize for the topics of discussion in my stream. What in the world? Terrible driver. And I shouldn't be made to feel like I'm inconveniencing somebody because I'm talking about something in particular. You know, I think there's an invisible clip here. It looks like there's an invisible clip here somewhere. No, maybe not. Maybe the gas pumps were just slightly wider than they visibly look. I need to fix my steering wheel too, because my steering wheel's all messed up. Keep speaking what you want. I plan on it. I plan on it. You know? And if people don't like it, they don't have to watch. They don't have to sit here and patronize my channel because they don't like what I'm saying. That's, you know, Twitch is a wonderful place in that there are so many different creators on the platform. And that's why I tell people, if you don't like what's on TV, change a channel. You know? It's as simple as that. If you don't like what's on the screen, turn the knob, you know? But don't sit there and make people feel like they're doing something wrong or like they're inconveniencing somebody by talking about a particular subject. You know, it's incredibly disrespectful. It's basically the same as saying, well, I don't think what you're talking about is important. You know? Why should I care? Why should I care about what you have to talk about? It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I work so hard trying to create a nice, good community. A community that gets along with one another, you know? And then you end up having situations like this where people come in and they just throw a grenade. They just lob a grenade in the middle of everything.
Reroute.
And it's toxic.
Find a new route.
You know, it's so incredibly toxic.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
And it's not fair, you know? Just the very core of it is not fair. Because these people that are streaming, you know, I'm not making any money on this. I'm not getting a paycheck from this. I do this as a hobby. I do this because I enjoy doing it. And a very wise person that I used to work with a long time ago when I was a kid used to tell me, when it stops becoming fun, then it's not worth doing anymore. You know? And it's gotten to the point now, especially now, in the last few minutes, that I'm starting to wonder, why am I doing this? You know? If people are just going to come into my channel and literally just shit in my face, why should I keep doing this? You know? But then I have to, nice Subaru there. Nice Outback. But then I have to kind of stop myself and say, well, you know, there are 20,000 other channels on Twitch and so many more others on YouTube that, you know, obviously they're here for a reason. whether to be trolling or just flat out disrespectful or just to stir the pot a little bit. And I don't mind people stirring the pot. Occasionally, some very important and healthy discussions take place based on that. But you know, some people just come in to, like I said before, throw a grenade in the middle of everything and, you know, see what's left when the smoke clears. And I guess you have to. That's you know, part of the job, right? You have to put up that stuff. So, I've always been the type of person, though, that I will not shy away from having a discussion, a very direct discussion, with people that come into my channel and troll me or attempt to troll me. And I think that's a very important distinction to make. People come into my channel and they'll post links to sites where you can buy followers and buy subs and stuff like that. And I always kind of like make fun of them because I'm thinking to myself, you know, you're advertising to a viewership of like 2 people right now. And one of those people is the person streaming, you know? You're not winning this. And I always just kind of mock them. Because I feel like that's how you need to address people that troll your channel. You know, if you act like you're hurt by it, then it encourages them to do it more. If you ignore it, usually they go away, but what's the fun in that, you know? People always say don't feed the trolls, but instead of feeding the trolls, I kind of slap them in the face, you know? I grab them by the horns head on and I look at them in the face and I say, what are you trying to accomplish here? Because I feel like if you make them uncomfortable by calling them out and directly interrogating them by saying, like, why are you doing this? What's your purpose? One, it's more fun. And 2, it usually they're so embarrassed by it that they tend to not do it again. And that's kind of the situation we had here tonight. You know, we had somebody that came in and decided that they didn't particularly agree with what I was saying, or were inconvenienced by it, or whatever the reason. They didn't want to hear it. And to that I say, tough shit. You know? You know, it's unfortunate that things had to go the way they did. But I also try to be a very reasonable person in that I did not ban that person for what they said. If it happens again, then I absolutely will. But that's the thing. I don't care how long you've been a viewer of my channel. I don't care if you were my very first viewer. If you come into my channel and disrespect me or disrespect my house, you're gone. You know, usually you're gone. If it's a misunderstanding, it's a misunderstanding. We'll have a discussion about it off stream. But usually that doesn't happen, because usually it's not a miscommunication or a misunderstanding. Oh, I should have pulled off there. Darn it. I find it, I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm kind of shocked because of who it was. You know, this is somebody that I feel like I've always been friendly to this person. But this person and I share a couple of communities in common with one another. And it's unfortunate that they chose to say what they said tonight. I would hope that they don't do that in other people's streams. I don't know.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
Yes, you'll find a new route. Calm down. Ooh. Whoops, wrong gear. But yeah, it's just what happened tonight was an unfortunate situation. I wish it hadn't happened. But I think a lesson, I hope a very valuable lesson was learned. In that you don't come into someone else's stream and basically tell them, oh gosh, you're finally done talking about that. Thank God.
And then turn left.
You know? I think that's...
Turn left.
That is the very... no, I'm not going to turn left there. That is the very definition of disrespectful behavior. And I can tell you right now, like, there are plenty of other streamers that I know that would have immediately banned that person. Immediately. Without even addressing it. Bam! Gone.
Left. And then turn left.
I try not to be that person. I try to have a little bit of humility.
Turn left.
I try to have a discussion about it. Oh!
Recomputing.
All right, I'm gonna pull over here because I'm trying to find a job here. So let's find that. We are in Missoula. Let's see, what do we got? Lemonade. This is cargo, by the way. This isn't, so freight would be, I would take a trailer. Cargo is basically using the trailer that I already have on. I have a dry van on right now, so I could haul potatoes. I could haul, lemonade. These are all long hauls, too. This is from Missoula to Key West, Florida. This is from Missoula to Quebec. I don't need anything that long. I'd be fine staying within Montana. So let's go to the last page here and see what we got. Missoula to Burns, Oregon. That's up to Shelby. That's over to Butte. Let's go to Shelby. We'll do dry milk going to Shelby, and this is an urgent delivery. So we don't have much time on this. So let's pick this up. Let's forget about all the trouble tonight. And we'll pick this up and get on the road here. I thought about doing it. You know, I mean, so you have mod privileges and stuff, but I'll generally address it. If it's something that were to happen, say, when I'm, like, on break, when I'm, like, you know, using the restroom, taking a peep, you know, grabbing a drink or whatever, and I'm not immediately at my chat and something is very, very wrong, then that would be where I would hope my mods would step in and address it. But if it happens during the stream when I'm here present, I'll typically address it. Because sometimes it is a miscommunication. Sometimes it is just a misunderstanding. That's why I like to address it head on. But I think... What is going on here? I think what happened tonight, I don't think that was a misunderstanding. I think that was... That was someone that... Maybe they weren't intentionally trying to be malicious. Whoops. But I think they were voicing their opinion in a disrespectful way. And that's where I draw the line. You're more than happy to or more than welcome to address something in my chat and have a discussion and voice your opinion.
Turn right.
Where I draw the line is when it becomes disrespectful, particularly to me.
Turn right.
To me or any of my viewers, any of the people in chat, any of my mods, anyone associated with my channel, if someone comes in and starts being disrespectful to anybody in my channel, you know, they're gonna get addressed immediately. Because this is a place where people should feel like they can come and not be ridiculed and not be, oh, why did you do that? You idiot. As I stall the engine. Good gravy. People shouldn't come in here and feel like they're gonna be attacked. If anyone's gonna do attacking, it's gonna be me. And it's gonna be in direct response to someone else doing it.
Get ready to turn left.
And people come in here and say, well, you know, what do you do? You're doing it right now. You know, you're... and yeah.
Turn left.
I am. But the thing is, you know, there's definitely provocation there. It's a different situation. Where's my dock? Where is my dock? Oh, the job marker's over there. Man. Come on. Not having a good evening tonight.
It was a nice ride.
My goodness. All right. Job offer. What did we say we were taking? I think it was dry milk. Dry milk to Shelby, Montana. All right. Now we have to find our dock. And our dock where is it? I don't see it. This is killing me. Dang it. Dang it, Bobby. Emmy, I see that you typed something. Hold on just a second, and I'll read it out here. I need to get to my loading dock first. Oh, it's freaking slow too. Where is it? It's not over here. Oh. What is that? It's right there. That's not even a dock. That's like, oh, park beside the dumpster. We'll just... Oh, you can't make this stuff up, guys. Goodness gracious. All right, let me back into this dock. Oh, man. This game never ceases to amaze me. Turn on all my blinky lights, too. There we go. I will say that truck looks real nice. The new modular light bar mod that I have in there for the rooftop lights, that's really nice. All right. We're parked. Let me shut down. And we'll load. All right, to chat. Emmy says, I haven't left. I've been listening to what you were saying about what I did, Storm. No excuse for what I said, and I apologize for my behavior tonight. Felt like I had to hear everything you said. See, now that right there is a proper apology. That is an apology that I can accept right there. All right? So for everyone else out there who has done some wrong or made a mistake and they feel like they can't own up to it, read this. Read what Emmy wrote here, okay? This is how you apologize for making a mistake or making a lapse in judgment, we'll say. Okay? So, Emmy, I accept your apology. Thank you. I'm sorry that things went the way they did. Thank you for being an adult about it and apologizing. Again, as I said before, I hope that a lesson has been learned in that,
Drive safe.
you know, this is my platform and it's also your platform. And I think that that's an important distinction. I'm always willing to have a dialogue with people. I just ask that it be respectful. Mistakes were made, apologies were made, and we're back to where we were. So thank you for that, and you are welcome in my community. And now it's on to Montana. Where are we going? Butte, Montana, was it? Shelby, Montana. Oh, goodness gracious. What am I doing here? Shelby, Montana. Okay.
Turn right.
This is kind of a hokey...
Turn right.
This is kind of a hokey parking lot, you know? Cisco. So I have real life companies in this game. So you're going to see trailers with real life companies on them. Walmart and things like that. I think it just adds to the immersion, adds to the realism of the game. Coming up to this stop sign here, and we are going to bear right. Looks like we're going to get on the interstate here with a left turn. I probably should get into this lane here.
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
Right here. All right. We're going to turn left. We are in Missoula, and I believe... I'm not sure which highway this is that we're turning onto. Did I, hold on a second. Sorry, green light. Did I ever mention I switched majors? I seem to remember last time you were here, you mentioned something about switching majors, but remind the chat, what you were doing before and what you're doing now. Because I do like to hear about this stuff. I like to know what's going on in my viewership's lives, even though sometimes it's none of my business, but... Hopefully it's not journalism, because that's kind of an awful career to get into at this point, but... Alright, we are now on the highway. Looks like there's some tire debris there or something. Did switch your major. It went from adolescence to young adult earth science education to, hang on, bear with me here. To young adult earth, adolescence to young adult integrated social studies education. So you're trying to be a teacher is what I'm understanding, correct?
Turn right.
Oh, Jesus. I missed the gear for some reason. And I had no engine braking. Ugh. Things are not going well. Teaching 7th to 12th grade. So whoa! Whoa! This is why you don't text and drive, folks. I was literally driving away in reverse. And this is because I'm not paying enough attention to what's going on here. Teaching high school. I'm going to become a high school teacher. I assume for social studies, that will be your class subject. Whereas before it was going to be earth science, which I think is very important as well. But obviously, if you feel like you're more interested in a subject, in a particular subject, I think that lends itself to becoming a better educator because you are more passionate about that subject. If you're teaching a subject that you're not really interested in yourself, it's kind of mundane, right? It's boring. Like, I wouldn't teach somebody about accounting, because I don't give a crap about accounting. If I wanted to teach a subject, I would teach like technology or something like that, technology or science or something, because I'm passionate about those subjects. Civil rights or something like that, something I'm passionate about, not finance or whatever. So good on you for doing that. I think that's important because we need more educators. We need better educators in this world, and we need educators that are passionate about the subjects they teach. Mainly because of what I just said. If you're not into what you're teaching, then you're not going to be a very good teacher. So that's awesome. Congratulations on doing that. When do you foresee yourself graduating and actually going into your field of study full time? Wasn't happy with doing earth science anymore. I would have to take classes I didn't even need for my degree just to take what I needed for my degree. One of the classes I needed would have me travel at my own expense. I would also have to do physics and biology again, along with doing math. Spring of 24 is when you predict you'll graduate. Well, good luck on that. Congratulations, and keep working towards it. I didn't go the college route. for multiple reasons. I have always been a service industry employee. So, you know, you don't really need a college education to work in the service industry. I've always been at the service of other people, which in some ways is a little demeaning, but at the same time, it's very important. I need to do something here real quick. I feel like, yes, my lights are not on properly. Oh, it's much better. So yeah, I haven't really had the need for a college degree. I've thought about potentially changing my outlook on life and doing college and getting a degree in something, but you know, more and more I see how companies are even with a 2 or 4 year degree requiring more on top of that. And with education, with the cost of education being so expensive, it just didn't seem financially responsible for me to do that. You know, taking out a student loan that I couldn't afford, you know, and stuff like that. So I never went that route. But I like to encourage people who have, because I think it's important. We need better educators in the world. You're in your 4th year, but you're a junior credit-wise. So you probably had like a light year or something, a light credit year or something like that. Loan relief, cap the cost of education. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think that education in this country is so just obscenely expensive, along with other things, along with all kinds of other things we've talked about before, like healthcare and all the other stuff. It's very expensive. Didn't do well your freshman year, and then COVID. Yeah, COVID, the pandemic caused a lot of delays in things. And, yeah, so that's understandable. Anyone that's been in schooling for the past, you know, during the past 3 or 4 years, obviously had some issues with that. There was a lot going on in the world, so many different things going on in the world, and a lot of things, you know, a lot of things got put on hold, a lot of things got canceled and changed. A lot of people just stopped going to school altogether. They just said, "Well, why? I don't see a point now. The world has changed. I need to take stock of what's going on before I can, you know, continue to direct my life in any one particular point." We are on this windy road here, and I'm trying to keep my speed reasonable without crashing my trailer into the guardrail here. Once I start college, I intend on finishing it, and that's a good outlook to have. A lot of people didn't have that outlook. Just so everyone knows, we have an ad break coming in about 50 seconds, in about less than a minute. This is the Twitch ads that I can't really control. So, hang with me through the ad break. We'll be back shortly. I believe it's going to be a minute 30 ad, so a minute and a half, 90 seconds. So, bear with me here. We'll be back in just a little bit, right after this. Don't go away.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right. Keep left and then continue straight on. Go straight on.
All right, I believe we are back from our ad break. Thank you for hanging with me through that minute and a half of nonsense. Twitch now automatically schedules ads to run on my channel, and I don't really get a notification about it unless I'm looking at the management page.
Straight on.
So occasionally I won't know that an ad is running
Go straight on.
unless I think to look. But hopefully we'll be good for ads for the next half an hour or so. So once again, thanks for hanging with me through that. Emmy says, I don't believe in starting something as big as college and then just leaving. It's a good attitude to have. And you're left with loans to pay if you drop out, so don't start college if you aren't able to finish it. Save starting for college for a later time when you know you'll finish. I even saw a tweet talking about seeing much older people in college getting a degree. Yeah, I see that a lot too. There are people that, even high school dropouts, for instance, they'll go back and get their diploma at like age 85 or something, just to say they did it. And you know, who's to say that maybe in in the future, if my financial situation changes, or I become more successful, or I have a need for, a college degree, that I'll go and do that. Not to say that it's not important, because I believe education is, absolutely, but I've learned so much by just doing jobs, by just getting hired at companies and working. I tend to apply for jobs with companies that either produce products or provide services that I'm interested in learning about, because I find that it's easy to learn that way when you're doing it. I worked for several years ago. I worked for a company that manufactures LED signs, the type of signs you see on like video displays and the sides of like billboards and stuff like that. And I knew nothing about LED technology or the manufacturing process, manufacturing in general, warehouse operations, engineering, software development, planning, any of that stuff. And I learned so much working for that company. Very valuable stuff. It's not stuff that you'll necessarily learn in a college course. And that's not to say that I don't think education is important. Again, I think it's important. I just don't think that you can learn as much in college as opposed to just going hands-on with a job. I will say that I feel like I'm very lucky in that I was given opportunities by companies, to work for them without a college degree. And that's super important. But I feel like for what you're getting from a college education, it's just so expensive. There's a construction zone here with a lane closure, and we have to wait for this temporary traffic light to turn green. So I'm going to pull up to the line here. Also, the idea of Ivy League colleges are a joke. Just going there doesn't mean anything for you later in life. It just means you pay more for something that I'm getting offered at my current one for way less. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you kind of pigeonhole yourself when you take the college route, I feel, because like when you leave high school, when you're in, you know, your sophomore or junior year of high school, even into your senior year, guidance counselors, all guidance counselors, and they all get serious about bugging you about like, oh, well, what do you want to do? What kind of career do you want to go into? What do you want to be? And it's like, how am I supposed to know at the age of 17 or 18 or 19 what I want to do with the rest of my life? You know, I don't even know what's out there. I don't even know what my opportunities are, what the possibilities could be, you know? There's so much out there that I didn't know existed when I was in school. That I only found out about after the fact. And I think that's super unfair. Because yeah, you could go to college and get like a liberal arts degree, but what do you use that for? That's not useful for really anything. And it's just a waste of money if you spend that to get that degree and you can't use it on anything, you know? I want to go to college because I want to be able to get a job and have a better life for myself compared to growing up. And that's important, but at the same time, you know, when you go to college, you're majoring in something. You're majoring in a particular discipline. And for you, it sounds like you already know what you want to do. You want to be an educator. You want to be a teacher. But for people like me, when I was in school, I had no idea what my options were. There are so many different industries out there, different career paths, different things that I could do with my life. How do I know that if I go to college, if I say when I'm 18 years old, I want to be an accountant for the rest of my life? How do I know I want to be an accountant for the rest of my life? How do I know that being an accountant doesn't suck? So if I say, yeah, I'm going to focus on majoring in finance, and I spend 4 or 6 years in a college getting a degree,
Get ready to turn right.
getting a degree in finance to go into work being an accountant or CPA or something,
Turn right.
and then find out, man, this sucks. I hate this. Why did I choose this? This was such a mistake. And now I have a degree that's wasted. All that money put into that degree, wasted. You know? And now I'm 24 years old, 22 or 24 years old, and I've got to start all over again with a new major. And you touched on, just now, you touched on something that's super important as I find my wipers. That there is a lot of jobs. This is where I think our country is failing, in that so many of our jobs now require people to have a degree, which is completely irrelevant to the whole situation. Every job that I have done in my life, okay, And I've had jobs in broadcast television, engineering, manufacturing, public safety, automotive, law enforcement. I have had jobs in all kinds of different aspects, different disciplines. And every single one of those jobs could be done with simple training. Simple on-the-job training. And yet these companies say, well, we're not going to hire you unless you have at least a 4-year degree in whatever, which is usually completely irrelevant to the job at hand. And even with a degree, they want to pay you minimum wage. Okay? It's not like getting a degree is going to get you extra money, because most cases, that's the bare minimum for getting in the door. The bare minimum for getting in the door and making minimum wage is having a degree. And that's a little crazy. I think it's unfairly stacked against the worker, and it's more in favor of the education system, the private education system, these private colleges, which are charging people $100,000 for a 4-year education. You know, something that can be learned on the job in less than a year. You know, and more often than not, you're going to have a better quality education learning on the job because you're learning specific to what you're doing right then and there. And yes, it may not roll over to other disciplines, but you're still like the net investment, the net time investment in learning is still less than if you went to college and wasted 4 years on a degree that now you have realized you don't want to pursue. Exactly. You know, do I want to... Did I feel like I needed to get a degree in broadcast engineering? No. Broadcast technology? No. Because all I had to do was spend a few years on the job, and suddenly I knew everything I needed to do my job and do it well. And in fact, because of what I learned doing the job, I was able to develop new ways, revolutionary ways of improving the job that I was doing and training people to do it better than what was being done before. So not only was I able to learn what I needed to do and do it successfully without a college degree, but I was able to invent new ways of doing things, better ways, more efficient ways, and I was able to train the next generation of broadcast engineers in those methods. I need to pull into this gas station here.
Rerouting. Finding a new route. Recomputing.
So again, I'm not trying to say that education is worthless, because I believe that it is very important. We're going to run over the scales here too. However, I believe that too much emphasis is put on education being everything,
I'll find a new route.
when it really isn't. We weigh 89,079 pounds. We're actually overweight. We are actually overweight by about 9,000 pounds.
Turn left.
All right. I need to turn around here. All right, we're going to stop here. And we're going to rest. I feel like a problem with some people going to college is they don't plan ahead for what they'll do with their degree. College isn't just taking a degree in a subject you're interested in, just from the title alone. No, but the major that you pursue has some bearing on what career path you're going to be able to take, right? So if you major in finance, you're not going to be able to go and you know, be a librarian, you know, or, you know, bad example, but, you know, there's a certain, it narrows your abilities, you know, just because you have a college degree in a particular subject doesn't mean you're going to be eligible for every job out there. And what I was saying before is, who's to say that you start doing what you think you want to do and then realize that's not what I want to do at all. You know, this is an awful career path. And by then it's already too late. You're already up to your eyeballs in school debt. And it's too late to change. So it's college is very tricky. It's very tricky. We're actually at our destination, believe it or not.
Turn right. Turn right.
How's trucking going? It's going, as you can see. We're just pulling into our destination here.
We are finished.
It looks like a supermarket, and so it looks like I should probably back down there. So we'll go in low gear here. We're going to turn all our lights on. I'm going to stall the engine by running over things. Actually, that was just a curb. I'm surprised that stalled my engine. Oh, okay. No. My goodness, what is going on here? I'm in low gear. And the smallest little bump causes me to not be able to get through here. Whoops. Ah, I didn't really hit him. All right. Now I need to literally back around this building. This is one of those situations where I look at real-life truck drivers and I say, you guys are really talented. Like, really, really talented. Trying to see if I could raise up my third axle on my truck, but turns out I can't. Is it easy to steer that truck? Every time I'm watching you do that, I wonder how you do that. So I have a steering wheel set up. So yeah, it's basically I'm just turning my steering wheel. But as far as actually like steering in the game, it's very tricky. I find it a lot easier when I'm on an external camera here, because when you're backing up a trailer, it's backwards. So like if you were in a car and you wanted to back up to the right, you would turn the wheel to the right and the car would back up to the right. But with a trailer, if you back up to the right, the trailer goes left. So you have to turn opposite of the way you want to turn. So the way I get around that is I pull up the external camera and I look backwards, and that way I can just turn the direction I want to go, and it usually works pretty well. But you have to go very slow and very careful. There's a lot of pulling forward and backing up again, repositioning. It's very hard to do. Saw one of the real life companies we talked about. Yep. Yep, they're out here. Backing up a tractor-trailer truck is like pushing a grocery cart backwards. Pushing a grocery cart from the front. You know, because the steering, then the wheels that turn are in the back, and it makes things very strange. I think I stalled it. Sure did. This were a real loading dock in a real situation, that parking job would be acceptable. Probably wouldn't be perfect, but it would be acceptable. So I'm happy with that. So we're going to unload the trailer here. And I'm late. Oh, because I had to rest. That's why. I had to sleep. I almost didn't. I probably could have made it had I looked at the map and realized that I was that close. But that's all right. We only lost about $2,000 because of it. I was 35 minutes late, so really wasn't that bad. I've leveled up level 35. We made $11,590 on that trip. And so what I need to do is go into my app, into the driver's hub, and actually submit that job so I get credit for it. So give me a moment. And actually, let me take a look at something here. Next ad starts in 6 minutes. So while I do this, I'm going to run a quick ad break, and we will be back in just a little bit. Don't go away. More to come on the other side of this break. All right, so we are back and we are finished submitting that job to Viva. So now it's on record that we finished it. And we also got a skill point here. So we're going to add that to this because it's the only thing we can level up right now. So we're going to be adding level 5, which is going to give us 15% higher reward, 3% increase for finishing an important delivery, and 25% higher reward or 5% increase for finishing an urgent delivery. So we will apply that. Emmy says, my grade in the class went down a little because I forgot to do a homework assignment that I didn't notice. So I did the assignments that were due by yesterday, and my grade in that class is back up to passing now. That's good. That is good. All right, so we are in Shelby, Montana. And I'm trying to think, do we do one more job? We've been streaming for 2 hours now, and I'm trying to figure out, is it worth doing another job? We have all of these jobs that we could take. This one's going to Calgary, Alberta. We haven't been to Calgary yet. It's empty pallets. Why don't we take this last job and then we will wrap things up for the night. It'd be fun to cross the border into Canada, I think.
Let's go.
So we are going to, first of all, figure out where we need to load up. I believe we're already at where we need to load up. Yes, I believe this is where we need to load up. So I need to go over to that marker. JB Hunt, they're a real company too. I need to go over to that marker and pick up the job. So I'll probably just leave my trailer here. I'll leave my trailer here, and then that way I can just back into it. Just like that. I also need to reset my capture card because it is, the sound is not synchronized. So that's not what I wanted to do. That's my camera. There we go. Reactivate that. Perfect. All right, cargo market. Empty pallets. This is also an important or an urgent delivery. So I need to pick up my trailer and move it over a couple of slots, unfortunately. Couple up. I like that my light bar on the top has reverse lights on it that come on and off when I shift in and out of reverse. I think that's pretty cool. And I believe they also have high beam lights on the front too, work lights. Ooh, that's the horn. Maybe not. I also have brake lights and yeah, brake lights and turn signals on that light bar as well. So I have the turn signals up top, brake lights as well, and reverse lights. So that's pretty cool. Anyway. So this is going to be tricky for me to get in because I need to make a sharper turn here. But I think we can still pull this off. So we're... Whoop. Hit my horn button. So we're going to crank this right over here. And then we're going to chase the trailer around. I have to watch the front of my truck so I don't hit the fence. Oh, I shallowed it out too much. I have to do that over again. Make that turn sharper. Follow it back. Now I overdid it. But this is okay because I should be able to pull ahead slightly. And all right, well, it would have been great if I was going into that other bay, but I'm not. If I were doing my commercial driver's license road test right now, I would have failed. But ultimately, I'm not. I'm also lucky in that there are no other trucks and trailers parked at this loading dock. Because this is an absolute disgraceful parking job. But we're gonna load up anyway. All right, we're good to go.
Okay, here we go.
Stalled my engine. Now let's see if I can get out of here without running anything over. I have a very, very long truck. I have a suspicion that I'm not going to be able to make this turn, but we're going to try.
Turn right.
Oh yeah, no chance. No chance of making that turn. So, what we're going to do is we're going to pull out straight like this and go the other way. And we'll just turn around.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Ice, what's happening, dude? How you doing? I only like men with short trucks. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to be away so you don't have to deal with the stress of being at home. I moved out of my home. I moved out of my parents' home when I turned 18. As soon as I could, I moved out. It was so much better for me. If you hit things, it's points. Yeah, kind of. It's points in the wrong direction.
Get ready to turn left.
Ice, what are you up to tonight? And have you been streaming lately?
Turn left.
Ice is our resident VTuber. He has his pulse on the, he has the pulse of the VTuber community. Nice. You'll see Ice up in the up with the ranks of people like Neanners and Iron Mouse, Lord Athelstan. He's one of those top VTuber people making the magic happen. I still don't get it. I still don't understand all that goes into it. Pure cringe 24/7. Yeah, I mean, that's... It seems to be successful. I think it's great. I enjoy... Most of the streamers that I watch now are VTubers. Obviously, I watch some... You know, I watch traditional streamers too. But, I'm mostly watching people like Iron Mouse and Nyan and Lord Athelstan, Onigiri, Snuffy, Project Melody. Ice is top least popular. That's a good way to look at it. Actually, that's a really positive way of looking at it. You know, that's the thing, that from what I understand about VTubing, being a VTuber, the most expensive part of it is really, I guess, kind of your model, isn't it? I mean, you know, there's rumors out there that Iron Mouse spent $20,000 on her new model, and looking at it and looking at how it was drawn and rigged and put together, I believe it. I believe that that's a 20K model. That model is almost true to life in that it has so much body movement and expressions, especially in the face. It's incredible. But yeah, I mean, there are places you can get free models. And I guess the hardware to do VTuber stuff is not that bad. From what I understand, a lot of people use like iPhones, Android phones, because they have the face tracking cameras built into them. But I mean, you can get away with just a standard webcam and using a program like FaceRig or something, you know? Melody is an engineer from my understanding as well. And see, now that I didn't know, but that makes a lot of sense. She is very, very, like, she comes across as very intelligent. And obviously, she does a lot of, like, adult streaming as well. But to me, the fact that, like, if she is an engineer in real life, like, that makes her all that more attractive. Like, that's a smart person doing smart things. And I think that's so cool. I really like her personality. I like Iron Mouse's personality. I like Nan's personality. I like Athel's personality. Seadog VA doesn't do VTubing a lot, but we all know who he is. And obviously I like his personality as well. Yeah, you're using the VTuber Studio app, right? Same one that I have. Yeah, tech-wise, unbelievable. Like, the amount of stuff that she can pull off, especially with her adult streams. $250 to cross the border into Canada, people. I'm gonna pull over here and just address chat for a second. Reality. Oh, I haven't heard that. If you go 3D, 3D model, free. Okay. Sea Dog and Iron Mouse. Yeah. Everyone, yeah. Everyone that's familiar with those two names knows that there's something going on there, but, you know, it's probably one of the most wholesome relationships online right now. Yeah, I'm always amazed at the stuff Melody is able to do. I think she's still streaming right now, matter of fact. I think she's fantastic. I really enjoy her personality. Some people would say I enjoy her for other reasons, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Looking on Twitch right now. Let's see, my followed list. Oh, Iron Mouse is done streaming for the day. Snuffy is at the top of my list right now, 4.7k. Bao is streaming, Project Melody is streaming, and then that's it for VTubers. And then you got Shibuya Kaho at 700 viewers doing the Just Chatting stream. Yeah, I think it's cool. I haven't watched a lot of Snuffy or Bao. I caught them through a game show that a lot of VTubers were involved in, and it turned out to be hilarious, and I really enjoyed it. If Connor and Mouse don't get married, I'm going to be mad. So Iron Mouse doesn't believe in the institution of marriage. If you're a fan of Iron Mouse, you'll know that she doesn't believe in marriage. Now, whether she's saying that just for a reaction or whether she actually feels that way, I don't know. But obviously, knowing all the stuff that Iron Mouse has to deal with, I don't think that... Whoops. I just had somebody run into me. I don't think that she could ever really get married because it would put her health at risk, I think. I don't know. And yeah, me gushing about Melody, that's, you know... I gush about Iron Mouse, too. I really respect both of them as streamers because they do a lot in different ways. Iron Mouse is a very wholesome streamer, or tends to be. She has an amazing singing voice. She's very entertaining to watch, and I never thought to myself, you know, a year ago, oh, well, I'm gonna, you know, my most favorite stream is going to be a VTuber. I never would have thought that. But like my top 4 streamers out of if I were to pick my top 5, 4 of them would be VTubers. Maybe 3 of them would be VTubers. Depends on whether you want to count Sea-Dog VA as a VTuber or not. Technically he does it, but he doesn't do it as his primary thing, so I don't know. Mouse is a coloratura soprano, trained opera singer, and she really lets the pipes loose from time to time, and it's incredible listening to her do that. It really is incredible. Stormforce Games likes VTubers? Wow, I know, cringe, total cringe, right? Emmy's gonna take headache medicine. Stress headaches are awful, yeah. Yeah, it's I think they're all great, honestly. And they're all great for different reasons, you know. I think Aethel is a great streamer because he's pretty wholesome. He's, I think, pretty grounded for a popular streamer. He has a pretty good attitude about things. You know, Nian is just off the wall crazy, and I think that's a lot of fun. Like, she has this super infectious laugh and super infectious personality that I think is a lot of fun to watch, and she does some crazy stuff that just makes me laugh maniacally. Melody has a very technologically advanced stream. She has a great personality, and obviously there are other reasons. Iron Mouse, for all the reasons I said before. and I like Connor too, just because Connor's fun to watch, and he's Japan-based, which means that's an interest for me too. Japan is opening in a couple of weeks for full tourism without visas. It's going to be great. I can't wait to go. Now I can actually start actively and seriously planning my trip to Tokyo. And you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to be live streaming it when I'm there as much as I can. But my goal is to go in the spring of 2023, so I can't wait. Every time you're saying Iron Mouse, I keep thinking you're saying Iron Man. Yeah, yeah. I should say Tungsten Rat instead of Iron Mouse, but yeah. Also, the new song that was released by Iron Mouse and Nyan is unbelievable. Like, incredible. An incredible cover. And honestly, they did such a better job covering that song than the original artist did doing that song. Send Ice your model, and then you remembered you can't through Whisper, yeah. You can post it in the Discord, though. I don't know if Ice is in my Discord or not, but he could certainly join. You could also post it to your Discord and then post a link to your Discord in my chat. But I would have to, I'd have to permit you to do that. Actually, you're a mod. You should be able to. But I'm just gonna click the button anyway. To be honest, I don't really post much to my Discord. The only thing that really posts to my Discord on the regular is when I go live, and that's in a separate channel now, so it can be muted. So people don't have to mute the whole Discord, which is great. I didn't even realize that until down the road a while. I was like, I should just create a live notifications channel. That way people can just turn that off if they want. When I closed my old Discord, when I originally took my first hiatus from streaming, I didn't think I would be back, so I closed my Discord and lost all of those 100 or so people that I had in it. And now that I'm streaming again, it's just nobody goes to Discord, so. But it's fun to like share things and stuff like that. A way station coming up, and I get to go buy it. Because the Canadian authorities are very, they're very polite and understanding. Yeah, put it in selfies, that's fine. Has elf ears? And Emmy says her mom is bipolar. I know people like that. It is unfortunate. It is an unfortunate situation. Oh, okay. That's kind of a cute model. I'll have to see if, I'll have to see if we can set that up on OBS on the streaming computer and actually get you into streaming, into VTubing. That might be fun. We'll have to see if we can make that happen. I thought about doing it myself, but honestly, I don't think I could pull it off. All right, we are in Calgary. You have enough energy for VTubing. Yeah, I believe it.
And then turn left.
I believe it. As I crash into everybody. In the city of your Canadian friend.
Turn left. Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
Just want to live until you graduate. I hope you live beyond that. All right. We are close to our destination here.
Turn right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. All right, we are at our destination. I need to
This
find
is
where
it ends.
I need. Oh, that's kind of dark. This is where it ends. This is where it ends. All right, let's see here. Okie dokie. I like that. I like that. Tonight in Canada, this is where it ends. Stormforce Games versus the parking space. I could do like a whole promo on that and everything, you know? All right, we made it. Holy crap. Holy crap, you guys, we made it. Was I late? No, I was on time. Look at that. 210-mile trip. Made $8,000 for it. good with computers to the point of like your job, but when it comes to the tech for streaming, we definitely have to learn. Yeah, so like right now, every time Diabolical wants to stream, I have to like run the stream remotely because the concept of the Stream Deck is too complicated. So yeah, there's definitely there's definitely a learning curve there. But yeah, it's a learning curve. Let's just put it that way. It is definitely a learning curve. So tonight we played some truck simulator, some American Truck Simulator. We also talked about all the stuff going on with Twitch and all that mess as well. We won't get back into it, but educate yourself when it comes to what's going on with the platform right now, because it's important. It's a discussion that needs to happen for good change to come to the platform. Really quickly, we'll just finish up on chat here. If it came out at work that I was a VTuber, they would never shut up about it. I suspect that some of the people at your work, maybe one person at your work might know what a VTuber is. The rest of them would be like, what the fuck is a VTuber? Is that like a porn thing? That would be what I would think if I didn't know what it was, you know? Anyway, we are going to wrap things up. I want to thank everyone for being here in chat tonight. Tonight's been actually kind of, it turned around. You know, we had a rough start, but chat was very busy tonight. Ice, thanks for hanging out with us and lending your knowledge on VTubing. Feel free to, educate us more in the Discord or in a future stream. I don't know that I'll be streaming. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow. I'm actually going to try to stick to a schedule because I've been so goddamn bad at sticking to a schedule. That's what it looks like right now. I haven't been doing my morning streams just because, honestly, I don't think I'd be able to pull it off with my work schedule and other obligations that I have during the time that I have off in the middle of the day. I'm going to try to push myself to do it again. I reduced my stream schedule by 1 day just to try to make it more doable. But ultimately, I just need to buckle down and get better at doing it. Get better at sticking to the schedule. But that being said, thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. Normally we would do a raid, but all the people that are on right now are like big name streamers, and I'm certainly not going to do like a 3-person raid on Mel. So I'm just going to recommend that you all head on over to Project Melody's stream. And, have fun in her community. Enjoy everything. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night.